What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to talk about a fight that took place February 14th, 1945, between the great Sugar Ray Robinson and George Sugar Costner. Now, George Costner's name was Monroe, George Monroe Costner. He was born July 22nd, 1923 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, George Costner would spar a lot with the great Ezard Charles. They were very good friends. Unfortunately, George Sugar Costner would die October 26, 2002 in Cincinnati, Ohio. I met him several times. He was a good person. He was a very smart man. But he stood 6 foot, and he was a welterweight. And he had total bouts of 89, 73 wins, 43 knockouts, 12 losses, and he would stop himself 6 different occasions, twice by Sugar Ray Robinson. He would have 4 draws. For some reason, I don't know why he thought he can dethrone the great Sugar Ray Robinson. They didn't have the same style, but George Costner did have a lot of grit. So they would meet up February 14th, 1945. And in the middle of the ring, before the first round would start, these two men were brought over to the middle of the ring by the referee and the announcer. And Ray Robinson, after the instructions, would tell Costner, "You're not the real Sugar, I am." And Costner said, "We'll see about that." And the stories that I heard, it wasn't until that comment was made, Robinson would decide to get him out of there ASAP. So when the bell rang, Robinson went straight to him and decided he wanted to get rid of him. So he would pump 2 jabs, but he would stay down low. He would jab to the body, jab up and jab to the body, and he would feint right and step left. And he did that a few times. He would open up a combination, but he would jab to the body. Jab to the head, jab to the body. In about 2 minutes, 48 seconds, he saw an opening, and he would open up with triple left hooks and a straight right hand, and down went Costner, and he was counted out. And that fight was over. He was stretched like he was part of the canvas. And after that fight, Ray Robinson and his wife, Edna Mae, went to a dinner. And George Sugar Costner came over to the table to congratulate Ray Robinson and asked if it would be okay if Edna Mae, Ray Robinson's wife, danced with him. So Edna Mae asked Ray Robinson, "He wants to dance with me." Robinson said, "Why don't you go and dance with him so both of us can teach him a few tricks in one night." Unbelievable. Now that fight took place in Chicago Stadium. And at that time, Ray Robinson had a fighting career record of 106 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, and 70 knockouts. Ray Robinson had his first loss in 1943 against the great Jake LaMotta. And at that time, Robinson was a welterweight and LaMotta was a middleweight. But Robinson had faced LaMotta before that in 1942. And he was keeping busy with Jake LaMotta, but he would lose that fight with LaMotta. And then 3 weeks later, he would defeat LaMotta. But that would be his only loss up until that point. And he would have 130 more fights before he would lose the second time to Randy Turpin. Phenomenal fighter was Ray Robinson. Coming into that fight, Costner had a fighting record of 70 wins, 11 losses with 4 draws and 43 knockouts. They would have a second fight, 1950, March 22nd, at the Convention Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I just got to tell you, Ray Robinson was the greatest fighter with combination punching. He could take a punch. He knew how to move. He knew how to turn you. He knew what you were vulnerable to. He reminded me in that aspect is Pernell Whitaker. Whitaker never had to study film. He never had to study you. First 10 seconds told him how to fight you. And that's the IQ of Ray Robinson. But Costner would be in there with fighters such as Ike Williams. He would defeat him. Kid Gavilan, defeat him. Great Jake LaMotta. He did lose to Jake LaMotta. He would fight Chester Slider, Earl Turner, Alan Faulkner. Alan Faulkner was a very good fighter. They fought in California. Very underrated was Alan Faulkner. He would fight California Jackie Wilson, Jackie Cooper, just to name a few. But George Costner was a fantastic fighter. When he fought Ike Williams' face was swollen where you couldn't even recognize him. Because George Costner could punch. But he couldn't defeat Ray Robinson. So I just wanted to quickly go through that fight with you. Thanks for listening. This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum and the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to Sugar Ray Robinson. Salute to George Sugar Costner.